Hey everybody, this is Perch. There are a lot of comics put out for different age groups. And sometimes comics are put out for a younger audience. Sure, that happens all the time. I mean, it's not always super clear. Like, for example, right now, IDW, My Little Ponies versus Transformers. Who is that for? Is this for small kids? Is it for adults? Is it for bronies? Is it for weirdos? Who is this book exactly for? When I look at it, because I asked my daughters what they want to review, they would like to review My Little Ponies Transformers, The Magic of Cybertron. Sure, why not? So we're going to review this together. And, I read it. When I read it, this comic seems, I would say, for kids. I say that because the art's a little bit simplistic. I say that because it's got talking ponies in it. I mean, to me, it feels like this is for kids. That said, my daughters wanted me to take them to a My Little Pony convention that was happening in Seattle a couple years ago, and it became clear I didn't want to take my kids to that for, let's just say, use your imagination. It was going to be clear, but there's a number of comics that come out like this. The other one is you can argue some of the IDW Marvel books that get done are clearly more for kids. They have Captain Marvel there, and I think the Avengers, and it's clearly designed for kids. Adults will sometimes pick these up, and they will, not like what's found inside. And then invariably an argument ensues over, this is for kids, you shouldn't be criticizing it. But I feel like that whole discussion at best is counterproductive and at worst is disingenuous. And what I mean by that is it's a meaningless argument. I agree. I mean, frankly, how is a grown man insulting a comic arguably made for tweens? How is that anything that needs any attention whatsoever? And why I say that is, like, speaking specifically to some of the creators. I know on Twitter, for example, Heather Antos was making a point to say, which got tons of likes, of middle-aged dude buys comic meant for kids. Middle-aged dude, why does this look like a children's book? And then she's doing the thing where, like, every other letter is all in caps. And I like how all sides use that approach to, like, try and convey the person's crazy, but to me it always it's eye rolling to me. It's like using hey my dude. It's like you sound like a stupid person. I mean I get that you're trying to throw some shade, but you're saying those words out loud. It's not ironic. You just seem dumb. But fine. So she posts this, and is she wrong? No, she's not wrong. Is it kind of weird or sad or dumb for somebody in their 40s to be complaining about the childlike content of an IDW superhero book? Yeah, that guy's wasting his time. Why is he complaining about that? That's dumb. But at the same token, like, why are we signal boosting that guy? I mean, I guess it's fun, to crap on stupid people, because who doesn't love that? I mean, sometimes I just drive around town and I find somebody who looks kind of dumb, and I just shout out my window, hey, you dumb loser, you look dumb. And it makes me feel good. And I'm sure all the people around me think I'm a brave and important person for doing that. I don't actually do any of those things. Come on, people. But it is like this whole argument just seems very pointless. And also the disingenuous part is that, hey, if you're IDW, for example, and I'm not just picking on them, I mean, they have some of these products, like the My Little Pony Transformers, like the Captain Marvel one, DC with Batman, Scooby-Doo mysteries, some of this kind of stuff. If an older audience buys this stuff, like, do you think DC or IDW are going to be like, oh, crap, yeah, you can't buy this, you're too old? No, they're going to take the money. Lots of these companies for many, many years have absolutely loved and enjoyed older audiences buying things that are arguably for kids. I mean, maybe most famously is Harry Potter. Those books were meant for, young adult. That was the point of those books. It's actually a funny dilemma for a lot of parents because they're like, hey, I want to get my kids into Harry Potter. And it's like, book 1, hey, his kid's a wizard. That's crazy. Book 2, hey, that bad guy's still chasing him. Book 3, hey, he's got a godfather in prison. That's a little dark, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Book 4, hey, the person he's competing against gets murdered. Hey, book 5, hey, the godfather's been murdered now. What? We're doing human sacrifice at a graveyard. Book 6, it's like, oh my God, the professor who we now know is gay also has gotten murdered. And book 7, man, they're killing people all over the place. The books age, right, with you. But Harry Potter was intended to be young adult. That didn't stop tons and tons and tons of grown-ups obsessing over these books, standing in line for on release day, talking endlessly, quoting all this kind of stuff. They were all in on this. Grown adults, not kids. And the company that's making Harry Potter was not unhappy with that. They were completely fine with these things. So this is where I get to fair is fair. If you're going to take their money, then you shouldn't fly off the handle if some of them insult you. Now, granted, don't be a dick and don't just go around insulting things. That would be nice. Like, why are you causing trouble in the first place? But if you're, I hate this, hey, we're going to put this thing out. We're going to market it in such a way that we hope everybody buys it. But if you buy it and you didn't like it, then we're going to make fun of the fact that you're out of the target age range. And that's why your opinion doesn't matter. As opposed to maybe a more simple, sorry, I didn't like it. The end. I just, you go down and you see all the people, and it's like, hey, here's an opportunity to dunk on those creepy old middle-aged dudes. It's always dudes, by the way. Here's Chris Arant from Newsrama. It's like, oh, ha, ha, old dudes, ha, ha, ha. And it's like, guys, people always people are going to like what they like. And I totally agree, absolutely 100% agree that doing endless dunking videos on kids' properties for not being grown up enough or whatever you want to say, that is a waste of your time. If that's you, you're wasting your time. I said, I'm going to do this My Little Pony Transformers comic review. I'm going to do it with my daughters. If my daughters weren't around, I don't know that I would do this review. If I did do this review, I would be trying to, categorize it in the sense of the target audience. Okay. But the other kind of factor in here that it goes without saying. We all want to talk about how, it's so weird that middle-aged dudes are reading these comics and complaining about them when they're clearly for kids. I just want to point this out. Where are you selling these comics? Oh, you're selling them in the comic shop that caters to middle-aged dudes. I see. Okay, so yeah, what is your plan exactly? Like, when you're shuttling these comics off to the direct market, whose audience is well established, and you may dislike that, and you may absolutely want to get a younger generation into the store or whoever. And by the way, I am with you. If you've not heard the last 1,000 videos, I'm 100% behind you. I want a much bigger audience going into that comic shop and buying comics than middle-aged dudes. Absolutely. But this is a current environment you got. So let's not act surprised when you take your young adult comic, you kind of wink, grown-ups who might be into crazy things like My Little Pony Transformers, wink. We're going to go ahead and sell this in the direct market, a place with an audience that has done, let's just say, a poor job marketing to kids. And then, oh my God, somebody said it's dumb. Oh my God, I get me to my fainting couch. I cannot believe anyone would possibly have this reaction. And in addition to being surprised and horrified by it, I think I'll go on to all my friends and mock how stupid this person was. And then I'll get my next issue out and I'll send that off to the direct market to the same exact location. And then maybe one day at a con, I'll be sitting with old Perch and I'll be complaining about the fact that my comic only sells, 3,000 copies and I wish it sold more. But nobody wants to buy my comic, and I should have gotten a different degree in college so I could, be a success. Not that I'm referring to any real life event, but wink. Anyway, it all just feels performative. Look, if you're, let's do this for me. Help old Heather Ontos out. If you're a middle-aged dude and you're reading My Little Pony Transformers and you are shocked that it appears to be aimed at a younger audience, or you're reading Marvel Adventures Captain Marvel by IDW, number one, it's for a younger audience. So either you're going to be into that, in which case be proud, I guess, or maybe move along. If you know you're going to hate it, don't. What are you doing? Just don't bother. But on the other end, hey, comic creators, can we stop? Can we just stop with the, oh my God, old people reading young people stuff? Oh my God, how dare you? Because last I checked, many of you are still going on and on and on and on and on about your feelings on Harry Potter. And you are outside of the target market. Sorry about that. Wink. Like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.